November 2nd, 2023 felt like a new start for another season of my college career. But this season was going to be different because this was my last year in UCLA. I've been here for 4 years now. 4 years went by so quick, and it feels like another start. This game is going quite well. Me and my team, we went in the first quarter right now, and I'm just hooping. I'm having a hot start, and I make one move that I've made 1,000 times. Boom! Everything just switches. And I knew by the time I got up, I couldn't feel my leg. And that's why I looked at my coach, and we knew I was done for this season. My name is DJ Harris, from Los Angeles, California. I've been here my whole life. It's been amazing. Man, let me take y'all back. Growing up in LA, there was some good times and some hard times. The one thing that kept me grounded was prayer, basketball, and just my family. And really just staying focused. I remember all the times playing on the court by myself and just shooting around, just practicing, especially as I was trying to get ready for high school and trying to try out for the team. I went to Latoya High School in LA. It was rough. It was a private school, but they had sports and athletics. And you know your boy had to get ready for that. And as I joined high school and finished it, I was proud of myself. I graduated, and that's where I went to attend UCLA. Now, for my freshman year in UCLA, I didn't know what to expect, because for my first 2 years at UCLA, they already had a big three, and that big three was point guard Stevie Mitchell and Deshae Montgomery, and also, last but not least, they had Jacoby Walter. This means by default, my freshman and sophomore year, I had no other choice but to come off the bench. And I had no problem doing that. It has rough package, but like I told coach, whatever helps the team helps. But unfortunately, by the time March Madness started, we lost back-to-back years against Alabama. And it was a heartbreaking loss too. It was very embarrassing. Our big three was no good. Nobody on the team could score. We was all just having an off day at the wrong time. And Alabama just took complete control of that. And they ended up blowing us out on their own home floor. But as my junior year started, I was finally starting. And man, it felt good to start. But the frustrating part is that at the end of my junior year, I thought it was time for me to declare for the NBA draft. But my coaches and even the scouts, they all believed I needed one more year of college. So, let's fast forward to my senior season. Before my senior season even started, I just went back home and I just reflected about my first 3 years at UCLA. But now, I was ready. And throughout the first 12 games of my senior season, I was going off. I was averaging a career high 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists on a good 52% shooting. And I was looking good for the scouts. Everything was looking so well. It was going great. Team was winning and everything. But just in a split second, my season was over. I went back to the doctors, and they told me I had torn my right MCL. I was done for the rest of the season. I was devastated. I didn't know what the heck to even think at that point. What was I going to do? I applied for the NBA draft. Well, I went undrafted because the scouts believed that I was just too predictable. My injury basically made me look injury prone, and it was too risky for them to draft me. I understood and I was disappointed, but I had no other choice but to use that as motivation for whenever I got better. But throughout the times of me being in college and also being injured, a lot of different stuff happened in the NBA, y'all. Not just in the NBA, but just worldwide. As the NBA season and just sports in general had to be canceled during 2020 because, well, a pandemic broke out and LeBron and AD won the championship when the NBA resumed and started the NBA bubble. The next year in 2021, Giannis finally got it done for Milwaukee, won his championship. And Steph Curry won his championship without Kevin Durant again and proved all the doubters wrong and won in 2022. And then this past season, Jokic and the Denver Nuggets just got their first franchise championship. And right before this current 2025 season started, the reigning NBA champions are the Boston Celtics, with reigning Eastern Conference and NBA Finals MVP Jaylen Brown. They also have Jason Tatum as well too, who's one of the new faces of the league. He's just overhated. And throughout that whole time I was in college and just recovering, and now that I'm out of college, I was to the summer league, and if it wasn't summer league, it was overseas. But during this offseason, after the Celtics won the championship, I was in the summer league and I really held my own, but no one really paid attention to me because all the talk was really about Bronny James. But for me, I wasn't worried about all the noise about Bronny James. I was only worried about myself, and I was laser focused on helping me and my team compete in the summer league. And that's what I ended up doing. In the summer league playoffs against Philly, I had a big game. I had 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists. We ended up winning that game to advance to the second round of the summer league. But the next game, I had 25, 5, and 7. And unfortunately, we ended up losing. This is where our summer league ended. But the summer league was so fun for me individually because I got minutes, and I really felt like coach was going to call me up and be on the official roster. But unfortunately, none of that happened. We didn't win the Summer League championship. The Miami Heat did. And worse on top of that, the Washington Wizards didn't even call me up when the regular season started. So for me, when the season started, it was time for me to head back to overseas. I had no other choice but to. It was either overseas or G League. And the G League rosters were already filled up, and they didn't even call me up anyway. So I had no other choice but to go. After 4 months of going back home and then flying back to overseas and fight for playing time overseas in the Euro League, I finally got the call. It was the Wizards. The Wizards offered me a 10-day contract. The GM called my phone and everything. I'm going to be playing for the Washington Wizards for the time being, and if I do well, I can be here for the rest of the year. So glad that all the hard work has finally paid off. I just got to make the most of my opportunity at this point.